Have you ever been told something like, dude, you were born to be a therapist? Or people only hit you up because your advice always hits a little too accurately. But sometimes it's a polite curse, because the deeper you are, the more you become the person who gets it. You read the room before the room even knows what it's feeling. Today, I'm going to break down 3 psychological traps that make deep thinkers feel lonely, even when they're literally surrounded by people. First trap, you're watching yourself live. When you're a kid, you learn to walk by walking. You fall, you cry, you get back up. You don't sit there like, what does this fall say about my personality? But as you get older, you start believing, if I think hard enough, I can avoid mistakes. That's when metacognition goes too far. You're not just living, you're watching yourself live like your security camera footage. You'll be in the middle of a normal conversation and there's a little voice behind you grading your existence. Was that joke cringe? Did you pause too long? And here's the lonely part. If you're busy monitoring yourself, you can't actually connect. You're present physically, but mentally you're in the control room. So even when you're around people, it still feels like you're alone. Now the second trap, this is where deep thinkers quietly break themselves. Reflection versus rumination. One is learning. The other is psychological self-torture. Deep thinkers love saying, I'm self-aware, but not every kind of awareness is helpful. Reflection is goal-driven. You look back, you take a lesson, you move on. Rumination is a loop. You replay a moment, dissect it into 20 layers, and all it does is drain you. Like something tiny, holding the door a second too long, saying one slightly awkward line, or pausing too long, and suddenly your brain treats it like a life-defining tragedy highlight reel. You start analyzing. Why did I say that? What does that say about me? Do they hate me now? Did I just ruin how they see me? And the lonely part is brutal. Rumination makes you feel like nobody could understand what's happening in your head. So you don't even try to explain it. You just keep replaying it, privately, like a punishment. Third trap, insight addiction. Because your brain rewards the aha moment like you just achieved something real. That feeling when you connect a few random dots and suddenly go, oh, that's why. Your brain loves that. It gives you a little reward hit, so you chase it. You read more, you watch more, you analyze more, you ask deeper questions. It feels like every realization is a step forward, but your actual life? Still parked. Neuroscience-wise, this connects to the default mode network, DMN. It's the mental system that lights up when you're not focused on the outside world. Daydreaming, replaying, narrating your life, judging yourself. When your DMN is overactive, your attention gets pulled inward, into stories, replays, and internal commentary. And here's where loneliness gets sneaky. The more time you spend in that inner world, the harder it becomes to enjoy simple human moments. Small talk feels fake. Group energy feels loud. You start craving depth, but depth is rare. So you end up stuck between 2 options. Shallow drains you, deep is hard to find. And that's why being a deep thinker can feel like living on a different frequency. So if this is you, you're not stuck because you're not smart enough, and you're not stuck because you don't have willpower. You're stuck in a loop, self-monitoring to rumination, to tiny insight, to fake sense of progress, to back to self-monitoring. And that loop creates loneliness, because it keeps you trapped inside your own head. So here are 2 moves that are simple, but they work because they force your brain back into real life. First, turn rumination into reflection. When you catch yourself replaying something, don't ask, why am I like this? Ask one question only. What do I want to take from this so I do it differently next time? That's it. Reflection ends. Rumination doesn't. You need an ending. Second, turn off the security camera mode. Do a 60-second sensory anchor. Name 5 things you see, 4 things you can touch, 3 things you hear, 2 things you smell. Then take 1 slow, long breath. And if you still want to analyze, give it a time slot, 10 minutes at night. Outside that window, write 1 line and leave it. Because analysis needs a place in your life, but it cannot be the driver all day. Deep thinking isn't the problem. Sensitivity isn't the problem. The problem is turning your whole life into a thesis you have to defend, and never letting yourself have messy, unoptimized human moments. And honestly, the cure for loneliness isn't be more social, it's be more here. Not performing, not monitoring, not narrating, just being with people without trying to solve yourself in real time. If this is useful, like and subscribe so I can keep making this kind of content. Paw signing out. Stay sharp, stay weird.